Hello, I'm Amanda Ann Gregory, and today I'm going to discuss media exposure and how that can contribute to anxiety and trauma and what to do about that. So, yes, being exposed to too much media, meaning the news and social media, can actually fuel trauma responses and anxiety. They did a study on children after 9/11, and they found that some of the children that watched the news, especially the repetitive images of the planes hitting the tower, these children perceived those as separate planes hitting different towers. And these children had some adverse responses because they were watching that news. We were seeing this in their repetitive play. Now, you're probably thinking that adults are a bit different. We know that that's one plane, that's one tower. But here's the thing, there are actual parts of our brain that may not know that completely. So if we're exposed to news and social media all the time, and those are not pleasant exposures, parts of our brains may not know that it's actually one war, one pandemic, one mass shooting. Our brain might feel like we're being exposed to these different events all the time. So what do you do? Ask yourself, what is my exposure like now? How often am I checking the news? How often am I checking social media? Is it always on in the background? Sometimes we leave the TV or a podcast on in the background and we don't realize how much it's impacting us. If you feel like you really need to limit your media exposure, here's a couple of ideas. Try scheduling it in. What if you checked the news in your social media during the morning when you have your coffee? What if you checked it on your lunch break? Really scheduling it into your day. And what about frequency? What if you checked it, let's say 3 times a day? Is that enough? Maybe that's enough to give you some time and some space to actually process the information that you're getting from the news and social media. And you can also restrict your media outlets, maybe sticking to 2 or 3. So, for example, if you're relying on CNN for your news, maybe you check CNN and Facebook, or maybe you do Instagram or your local news outlet, really restricting it to just a couple of media sources. And if you would like any more information about how to cope with trauma or anxiety, check out my other videos and all of my other information.